Carry the one, and let's see, was that 2, 3 shopping days left before Christmas? Is that what it is? 3 shopping days left?
I'm always an advocate for the very last minute gift on the morning of.
Does Christmas Day, a quick trip to 7-Eleven, does that count as a shopping day? Yes
I think
no?
it does.
I think it does too. So 22, so 3 shopping days left before Christmas. That's very good. So I'll be going out on 2. I can already tell you, I've got plans. I've got plans today for some other stuff, but Tuesday will be my last official shopping day before Christmas. I will draw the line, although I'm not above going out on Christmas Day to try to find something somewhere. That has happened in the past. So we got 3 shopping days left, and I spent the weekend myself wrapping all the presents, which if you've been listening for a while, you know that I am an abhorrent Christmas present shopper. So and Amy has actually threatened to post some of my Christmas wrapping attempts because they look awful. I mean, they're like strips where I've just basically pulled another piece of wrapping paper to cover up, the places where it ripped. I mean, that's how bad my shopping is and my wrapping is trying to get ready for Christmas.
So you also suffer from the inability to cut the paper correctly, and then you're left trying to stitch extra
That's
segments.
What I do.
Yeah, me too.
It's a whole like, me wrapping Christmas presents is like Frankenstein. That's what it's like. So
just slapping stuff together.
Hey, I wish I don't know if Joan's back, but
I am.
Can we talk about just very quickly? Can we talk about the fact that apparently CNN is leading with this story? I have it in my stack of stuff. I find it funny. So we are chasing an Iranian oil tanker.
Right.
Now, I happen to know that we've got a pretty damn good military, so I would think this has been going on for a couple of days.
I was going to say, it's been like a long time.
How difficult is this to I mean, you can box them in, but they don't want to be cut. This is the difference between the Venezuelan oil tanker that we took over the weekend. This is our second one. But the Iranians, they're not going to go down quietly. That's the problem that we have. The Iranians are not going to go down quietly. And so the question is, how much force do you use to confiscate this Iranian oil tanker?
Not a lot.
What'd you say, Sam?
I would say not a lot.
Not a lot?
You're at risk at an environmental catastrophe.
You've got environmental catastrophe. You do run the risk of American casualties. I don't give a rip about casualties in Iran, but you do run the risk of American casualties. And it could be an international incident. They are flying a fake flag. Of course, we know what they do. We've talked about this with the Venezuelans and how they disguise their oil tankers. So this could be a very interesting situation. I guess President Trump and Pete Hegseth are supposed to make some announcement today.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's supposed to be later on today.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway. Yeah, I don't know.
I love how this administration does things and then tells the press what it was.
Oh, I love that so much.
That's how you keep from the enemies knowing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. I mean, the president has had a very active couple of days. So he got some things done. We got off the air on Friday. We're going to do a deep dive into the whole Epstein files. There's a lot going on there. You are not going to believe. Don't say who it is, Sam, because we're going to do it at 5:35. Joan, you're not going to believe who is worried about the state of Candace Owens' mental health. You're not going to believe it. But we've got that coming up at 5:35.
I know I am.
I've got some great audio. I have actually not heard the audio yet. Sam told me about it just a scant moments before the radio broadcast. We also have Tennessee Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti. He's going to be joining us at 7:35. He is suing Roblox Corporation. I've talked about Roblox before and what they're accused of. They're accused basically, if you've got little kids, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, whatever, and they play on Roblox. And if you don't know what that is an online gaming platform, and they are accused of trying to groom kids and the whole thing. Tennessee is now, I believe we are now the 7th state in the union, maybe the 6th, I'm not sure, but we are one of several states now that are suing Roblox because they are accused of trying to groom kids online. So we have Jonathan Skrmetti, the Attorney General. He's going to be joining us at 7:35 on Nashville's Morning News. 6:35, Jonathan Fahey is going to join us as well. A lot going on. I'm trying to get Matthew Hurt to join us at 8:05 to talk about Turning Point USA. Oh, Joan and Sam, did you see the moment where Nicki Minaj absolutely stepped in it at Turning Point?
I did.
Oh man, we'll do that too. And I got
unfortunate.
Can I just say this? The more that I see of Erica Kirk, the more that I realize how incredible she is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because she handled that amazingly. So we've got all this. It's a very big show. I know it's December 22nd. I know, Joan, that you and I both know. Sam, you're relatively new to talk radio. This is traditionally the slowest news week of the year.
Not this year.
Not this year. We got a lot going on. So a couple of things. Donald Trump, Friday afternoon, I love that he pummeled ISIS. We've got some video, by the way, Sam. He pummeled ISIS in retaliation for the deaths of 2 American military heroes and an American civilian interpreter. So he launched airstrikes against 70 ISIS Islamic State targets. Love that. This was all in Syria. They're calling this Operation Hawkeye Strike.
2 hours ago, we hit the ISIS thugs in Syria who were trying to regroup after their decimation by the Trump administration 5 years ago. We hit them hard. I ordered a massive strike on the terrorists that killed our 3 great patriots last week. 2 soldiers, 1 interpreter, all great people. And it was very successful. It was precision.
There you go. And that was Donald Trump, by the way, in North Carolina over the weekend. So we grabbed the second oil tanker as well off the Venezuelan coast. I feel like this is just going to be now business as usual. This is another oil tanker that had been sanctioned. It was docked in Venezuela and was supporting foreign terrorist organizations. Now, remember that there's multiple parts to all of this. Of course, this is not only a war against drugs coming into our country. This is also really a war against China. It is a war against Iran. It is a war against terrorism as well. There's a lot to this. We also, of course, want Venezuela to stop bringing drugs into our country, weakening China in the process. And yes, as we discussed, we are apparently trying to capture an Iranian oil tanker. This was on Fox News.
A sanctioned Iranian-linked tanker called the Bella 1 is refusing to be boarded and is being chased by U.S. forces. And a U.S. official close to the situation tells Fox News about the pursuit, saying, quote, "The United States Coast Guard is in active pursuit of a sanctioned dark fleet vessel that is part of Venezuela's illegal sanctions evasion. It is flying a false flag and under a judicial seizure order."
So there you go. I mean, if that's something that we can do and we can do legally, then why not? What are we doing with all of this oil? Apparently, Trump says we're just going to keep the oil, which is fine. Somebody asked me about this over the weekend. I was at a thing, and somebody asked me this over the weekend about what it is that we're doing with the oil. And I said, well, finders keepers, losers weepers, right? We took the oil. It is our oil now. And I would pose this. This was in a conversation. I posed this conversation to a friend, and I said, let me ask you a question. If Venezuela took one of our oil tankers, or if Iran took one of our oil tankers, do you really think that they would give it back? No. So that is now our oil. I don't know what we're going to do with it, but, you know, this is something that the president, again, it is simply put peace through strength.
You know the scene in Captain Phillips where he realizes there's a little skiff behind him?
Yes.
And it's been followed. Just imagine the polar opposite of that. There's just like, I don't know, what, did they say 3 or 4 warships trailing this thing?
Yep. Yep.
Ugh.
Hey, look at this. So we've heard, I just looked it up, what happens with the oil after it's been. So there was one called the Suez Rajan. That was an Iranian oil tanker. I don't know when this happened, but we seized the oil, and it was sold, generating $74 million. And the proceeds were designated for a fund to compensate victims of terrorist attacks. That was according to the New York Times.
What year was that?
That's a good question.
I love that, though.
Yeah, I think
because that is how the funding for terrorism happens, is by, among other things, selling this oil on the black market. And here's the deal. We, as in conservative talk show hosts, we blasted Joe Biden and the Democrats for allowing Iran to do just what they have been doing. So now
the skipper right now is docked near Texas, with the oil being offloaded for refining in the U.S.
There you go. Love it. And I like that. Compensate the victims of Iran's terrorist regime. All right, very good. Hey, I want to do a Daily Dan poll. We have not done a Daily Dan poll in quite some time. President Trump, this happened when I was on vacation. President Trump signed that executive order to increase the research into medical marijuana. So I'm curious as to where WTN Nation is on this. There's a lot to this, so we'll talk about that during the radio broadcast today. I'm all for this. I love the fact that the president is looking at this for many reasons. The biggest one, of course, is number one, I think it'll help our veterans. That is number one. And number two, anything we can do to stick it to the pharmaceutical companies, I'm all for it. So Big Pharma is freaking out, of course, if this is something the president wants to do. He has signed that executive order. And so go ahead and formulate, if we could, that question. By the way, if you want to watch us on YouTube and Facebook, Rumble, 997 WTN.com, X, anywhere else that you can see video. And you can also listen to us on, of course, the good old radio. And also you can listen to us on all of the streaming platforms. So it does seem to me that President Trump is very active. He is getting things done. The Democrats are seemingly in a state of disarray. We're going to talk about that. Also, it's a very big day today. Second Avenue is now going to, it's almost, right, 5 years to the day, Joan, right?
Yeah.
5 years to the day, because it was on Christmas Day 5 years ago, the Christmas Day bombing in Nashville. And now 5 years, Second Avenue is finally going to be completely open. And Sam and I were talking before this show about, we all kind of know, at least those of us who were in Nashville, we all know where we were on that morning of December, of course, 25th. And do you remember, Joan, where you were when you heard about the Christmas Day bombing?
I was in Washington, D.C., and I remember when it happened, and I thought, what the heck? This is Nashville. Like, why would something like that be happening in Nashville of all places?
People started calling me. We were getting ready to open presents and the whole thing. And I started getting like text messages, and I'm like, well, this is like Breaking Bad. I mean, it's a meth lab gone up in smoke, right? Up in flames, right? That's what I thought it was. I thought it was like a portable meth lab or something. And then obviously the number of text messages, I thought, I better check this out. And Brian Wilson and I spent, I think, 4 or 5 hours on the air on Christmas Day covering that bombing. Amy was so mad at me.
Yeah, but...
She understood. I know. We talked about it before a couple months ago, where she was like, can you just come up for like 3 minutes so that Riker can open his big Lego set that we bought him? And I'm like, no, we're not running any commercials. I don't want to leave Brian all by himself. Not that he can't handle it. Of course he could. But, I mean, we were just in that breaking news mode. And it was a crazy day. That was also the day, as I've discussed, I was supposed to propose to Amy. And
jeez.
She
did she know you were going to propose to her that day?
No.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I proposed. I've talked about this before. But I proposed to her in front of her entire family on Christmas Day. It was the big Christmas Day celebration. And so and how her family, and I love her family, how her family managed to keep this secret is beyond me. But they did, because everybody kind of knew what was going to happen. It was like, all right, everybody, get your phones out, right? And so I had a big blanket. It's a whole thing. I had a big blanket, gave it to her as a Christmas present, said, will you marry me? Had the ring in my pocket. We've got the whole thing on video.
Aww.
I've never posted it because I feel like that's an us moment. We do have the whole thing on video, though. And so she was like really mad and frustrated, and she got it. I mean, she understood, but she just wanted 3 minutes of my time. That's all. She wanted 3 minutes, and I couldn't even give it to her. But honey, I'm in breaking news mode. I can't possibly come up and watch the gifts being opened up. So, but she got it, and she was totally understanding. And then she got, that day she really understood. Yep, this is what it's like to be married to a news nerd. And so now every time there's like tornado weather or breaking news or whatever,
she's like, "See ya,"
and she gets it. And she gets it. It was just that one Christmas Day. She said, Christmas Day of all the days. And then I, of course, am on the air with Brian going through all of this. And I'm just like, she's going to say no. Because she's so mad at me because I couldn't give her 3 minutes to watch Riker open up the big gift that we got him that year. And because she wanted a picture and video and all that. And I'm thinking, oh, God, she's going to say no. And so then, of course, obviously she said yes. I sometimes wonder if she regrets that. 5:36. Nashville's Morning News.
Clear your throat, Dan.
On Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You know what? I played AOC audio. She always has that effect on me.
Yeah.
I remember when 2nd Avenue, the Christmas Day bombing 5 years ago. So we had done a whole bunch of events at Rodizio Grill. And I loved Rodizio Grill.
R.I.P.
Yeah. And the owners, I remember that day, I was talking about how Brian and I were on the air covering this bombing. And they came on the air with us. And I mean, shocked and devastated is the only way that I can describe what the owners were going through. And just a horrible, horrible thing, again, 5 years ago. So it looks like what I'm trying to figure out, Joan, and I don't know if you have any information, but when they reopened 2nd Avenue, they've got wider sidewalks and some other things. There's still some buildings, I guess, that are set to be demolished. And what I'm trying to figure out is what businesses are going to be reopening, if any, when they reopen 2nd Avenue. I don't know if there's going to be businesses that are going to be reopening. It is shocking to me, 5 years on, there are still some businesses that are battling with insurance.
Isn't
that crazy?
We're not LA, people.
No, I got to tell you, insurance companies,
Yeah.
If there is a way for them not to pay, they'll try it. And that's what's so frustrating about insurance companies. And so you feel bad for these business owners because, and I don't know what's going on with the folks over at Rodizio Grill. And I forget their names. It's been so long now, but I had done a little thing where I was served as a waiter. It was like a station thing.
Oh, cute.
And so I served as a waiter. It was like WTN night. So I got to put on like the whole waiter uniform and everything. And I'm out there, serving up the meat at Rodizio Grill.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun, actually. And people came in and I would walk around. I was terrified that I was going to cut somebody. Because you know how they do it, right?
Had you ever been a server before?
No.
Oh, wow.
No, I've never worked as a waiter, as a server, anything like that. The closest was when I was a gas station attendant, probably one of the last in America. And but no, I've never had to wait tables. I know you did.
Yeah.
And I realized very quickly at Rodizio that I would be a terrible waiter. More power to you folks that are servers, because that is tough work. And you hear from people who are. This is why, and I don't want to brag, I'm not, but I have such an appreciation for people who actually do serve and work as, waiters and waitresses. I always try to give them big tips because I know that there are some people out there that don't give big tips. And so they oftentimes get screwed. My daughter, who worked as a waitress for a time, she was, she'd call me sometimes and she'd just get really angry because she worked, she served a party of 10 and they give her like a $5 tip.
Oh,
or they give a $1 tip.
I know.
Oh, she would get so mad.
Yeah.
And so I always try to give decent tips. But anyway, so I don't know. I would love to see Rodizio open back up, but I have no idea. So if we can find out like what exactly happens today and if there's businesses that are going to be opening back up, I would love to celebrate those businesses. And I don't know if these are some of the older businesses that were there 5 years ago that would then be opening back up today, or what exactly is happening. So, because I mean, it's been a long 5 years, and I've been down there a few times to check out, sort of the aftermath of the bombing. So it's great to have 2nd Avenue opened all back up. So looking forward to seeing what exactly is going to be opening up there. Okay. Do you want to hear the audio from Alex Jones talking about the mental state of Candace Owens? I have not heard this. So, Joan, this is going to be kind of like fun with audio. Sam has sent this to me, so I have not heard this myself. Sam, you obviously have heard it. Give me the quick intro as far as what he is saying about the mental state of one Candace Owens. By the way, this is not on his show.
Yeah, he's just out, I think, in his yard. He just wanted to kind of make an announcement on what he has covered on his show, what he's planning to cover, and that out of all the people.
I was going to say, of all the people to
be concerned with the mental well-being of one Candace Owens.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
This is what he says, and we got video on this. Here's Alex Jones.
As most of you that pay attention know, I am not the internet police. I don't infight. I don't try to focus on what other people are theorizing about or doing. I try to focus on what I'm doing. And so it's with a heavy heart that I am forced to put out another report, either tonight or tomorrow morning. We're adding a lot of information right now, a lot more research, dealing with Candace Owens. Just as soon as the whole Egyptian plane thing gets debunked with all the facts.
By the way, he has been debunking, from what I understand, people have been telling me, he has been debunking Candace Owens just throughout this whole process. So I think, and I don't know if these two were ever allies or not, but...
Now she's moved to something else, and I'm really worried about her. I'm worried about her and her mind, and I'm also worried about the country and where this is going. It's good to question Charlie Kirk's assassination. I have big questions. We know Cash Patel covered up an investigation into accomplices. I broke that up before it hit the mainstream news. So I'm not saying don't question. But her latest source and what she's done, implicating the U.S. military and all this other stuff, is just so damaging. And when you go investigate it, it's so crazy.
What is she saying?
She's been saying that the U.S. military was in on it.
Are you kidding me?
I was
you
watching
serious?
some stuff recently. She also said the chief of staff at Turning Point USA, who was like best friends with Charlie Kirk, Mikey McCoy, that he... because there was video of him talking on a phone after it happened, that he had something to do with it. I mean, she's accusing everybody. It's bizarre.
All right, so let's listen to Alex Jones.
And just like with the Egyptian plane, she says she has the metadata, then publish it. And when she did publish it, and it got fact-checked, it wasn't accurate. Candace, we care about you.
We do?
Do we?
But you just doubled down again with something even more absurd. And I hate watching you destroy yourself like this. We'll be covering it all with the reports coming out at Real Talk Shows on X, on Rumble, and Infowars.com.
I want his voice. I like Alex Jones' voice. He sounds very manly, he does. It's like the polar opposite of mine. So I don't want any harm to happen to Candace Owens. But she's not doing herself any favors. And she's just throwing all this stuff up against the wall. And this is my impression to see what sticks. And so I love that Alex Jones and others are fact-checking what she is saying. I'm going to be honest with you. I stopped paying attention to Candace Owens a while ago. I'll talk about the influencers at Turning Point USA, that big thing over the weekend in the 6 o'clock hour. But it just seems like you've got all of these influencers that are sort of attacking each other. And ultimately what they're trying to do, and it's certainly the case with Candace Owens, it seems to me, is she's doing this for clicks. She's doing this for money. She's doing this for attention. As we talked about on, I think, Thursday or Friday. I guess it was Friday because I was gone last week, most of it. But she has some consternation, some anger about the fact that she was left out of the wedding of Charlie Kirk, whatever. All I'm saying is that, and I think this is what everybody's saying. Listen, if you've got something, don't sort of intimate that you have something and you'll let people know in the next edition of the Candace Owens Show. Throw it out there and let us know exactly what it is. And it just, I don't know. You just heard Alex Jones say, if you've got the metadata, then publish it. If you've got the details, publish it. But it's always just this sort of, and this is why I stopped paying attention. All right. The reason I stopped paying attention is because there never seemed to be anything concrete. It was almost like, you put a carrot on a string, and a rabbit's trying to get to the carrot. Just keep pulling it and pulling it and pulling it and pulling it, and never really, getting letting the rabbit have the carrot. That's what it seems like to me, where she's always just pulling that string and not really giving people anything concrete. And that's why I stopped paying attention. Now, the supporters of Candace Owens, and listen, if you're a supporter, awesome, love it. But if you're a supporter, then you should demand that she come out with something absolutely concrete. And to Alex Jones' point, I don't think anybody wants any harm to come to Candace Owens. If you ever cared about her as an influencer, then you want her to be well and you want her to thrive. But if she's going to be, what's the right word, irresponsible, I think what she's doing is irresponsible. Is that a fair assessment?
Absolutely.
Irresponsible?
She took the fact that Charlie wanted to do I guess rumors were he wanted to do a full-scale audit of the finances, and they did get money from certain Jewish donors, and she took that and ran with it on the Israel train.
But did he break any laws? Were there any laws broken? And just because he's accepting money from groups or organizations that are supportive of Israel doesn't mean that he's being controlled by Israel. That's the thing that annoys the living crap out of me is you can accept money from these organizations and you can have the same viewpoints or the same goals. You can be all in for, Israel and the for the good of the Jewish people and the good of the Israelis in the Middle East and not be controlled by Israel. And so I think that whole thing, oh, you received money from Israel. Okay, well, so did a lot of other people. But look at where I voted and look at what I voted on. Just because I happen to be pro-Israel doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to give either a blank check to Benjamin Netanyahu or whatever. So I don't know. I think this whole thing has just been one huge distraction. Unfortunately, though, Joan, I think it's more than a distraction because I think that it is causing a rift within the Republican Party.
I agree.
And I don't understand, though, why is it causing a rift? You know what I didn't like? So I talked a little bit about this on Friday. I didn't like what happened at Turning Point USA, where you had Tucker Carlson going after Ben Shapiro, going after Megyn Kelly. You know what I mean? You've got all these influencers who are just slinging mud at each other. Steve Bannon, the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, there's two things can be true. Number one, that can be divisive. That can be petty. That can be just, I don't know. It doesn't matter to people's lives. You know what I mean? But it also shows that we are all willing as a family to have these conversations. And we are allowing people to speak against, others. It's like a big open conversation. That's all fine, well, and good. So there's good points and bad points to all the mudslinging that was going on at Turning Point USA. But it is divisive, especially when you look at, number one, all of the great things that in my opinion, Republicans have a lot of great things to be proud of in the first year of the Trump administration. Yes, there's still work to be done, but the president has done a lot of good things, and I feel like this divisiveness is sort of giving fodder for our enemies in this political war that we're engaged in.
I have to say, I heard this theory about what's happening, and I think this sounds true to me. So if you were a Democrat and you wish that the swell of popularity of the Republicans was somehow cut because so many kids, so many young people are coming into the Republican Party and being led by Charlie Kirk like thought and, how Charlie Kirk lived his life.
Yeah.
What would you do? You decimate the Republican Party from within. So I've heard theories that Tucker Carlson and other people are being paid to come up with these theories and to say these things so that, one group of people will believe this and another will believe that, and effectively separate everyone within the party.
You had comedian John Crist, I think he lives here in Nashville, call it out the other day that he's hung out with some of these people, and they talk about this very thing to generate shares, likes, and
The
at the end
comedian
of the day,
John Crist?
Yeah.
Wow.
You got the audio?
I'll find it.
Yeah, find the audio.
Or it may have been a tweet. But he stated that he's interacted and heard the behind closed doors conversations, that it's all about generating the shares, which generates the revenue. And
yeah, that's what we've all been saying. And that's true. In my opinion, that's true with Candace Owens. And again, you've got all these influencers, Tim Pool as well. Everybody's going back and forth. Everybody's fighting back and forth. At the end of the day, what are they all trying to gain? Influence, a bigger voice, clicks, shares, dialogue, and revenue generation. That's what they're trying to do. And so, unfortunately, it seems like two things can be true. At Turning Point, this is just another example of how they're trying to do just that. I think to Turning Point's credit, they're letting everybody have their say, because the last thing that they want to do is they don't want to be seen as censoring people, because that's everything that Charlie Kirk was against.
Right.
So the question is, okay, so then what are the motivations of people like Tucker Carlson? What are the motivations of people like Ben Shapiro and Megyn Kelly and all of these other folks? Because, all of them, if I'm not mistaken, got up on the stage of Turning Point USA and they started attacking each other. And it really should be about the momentum of the conservative movement going forward.
Exactly.
That's what it should be, because we have so much to be proud of. Coming up in the 6 o'clock hour, do you have that audio?
yeah, I got it right now.
Is there no cursing?
Yeah,
I got spoken to about cursing last week. So.
he's a Christian comedian.
Oh, very good. All right, go ahead. Real quick. What did he have to say?
Jelly Roll is there.
Talking about a party.
Tucker Carlson's
is
there. Marjorie Taylor Greene is there.
Wow.
Candace Owens is there.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, Lydia, Candace Owens is here. She's like, what? Well, I go, Candace is here. She goes, tell her I'm reading her book. I go, not Candace Bure. Candace Owens is here.
Yeah.
She's like, what?
The other one.
The real one.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And then and then there's like a bunch of Turning Point people there. There's a bunch of I wrote down a list of everybody that I saw there. A bunch of comics were there.
Interesting.
Brennan Shaw, Theo, a bunch of people, a bunch of MMA fighters in there.
Wow.
And I was like, I go, all right, this is what I always have thought about those kind of things, and I'll just say it out loud for everybody listening. And I've said this
John.
before in some kind of context.
Say it.
There was Turning Point people there, and Candace Owens was there, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson. I hate to say this out loud. Everybody friends.
Everybody's friends.
Everybody's friends.
Everybody's friends.
Huh.
Everybody knows what they're doing. Yeah, until you see like Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson taking blows at each other.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Did you watch any of Ben Shapiro's speech?
I played some audio on Friday.
Okay.
I thought it was very good. What I saw was good.
Yeah.
I did not see the whole thing because, again, and I'll say it again, and people get mad at me when I say it, I don't care about the influencers.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
What I care about is that it is interfering with the conservative movement. That's my problem. 0251 actually shares what I have to say. Out here in the real world, influencers are laughed at or ignored. Now, I'm going to say this. I got, as I said on Friday, I got enough voices in my head. I don't need all the influencers. They're doing what they do. I do what I do, whatever. I mean, everybody's got a voice, and it's all fine, well, and good. Tucker, Ben Shapiro, all these folks, Alex Jones. I mean, obviously, they've got scoreboard over, little radio host in Nashville, Tennessee. But I I think that some of these folks are doing damage to the very movement that they purport to support. I think that's what's going on.